In Season 2 of Extraordinary Attorney Woo, there are people who have to make decisions. They have to make choices. Whichever the choice, people are going to get hurt. And they themselves are going to get hurt. Hurt is waiting for characters in Season 2. There's no way around it. Here's why. The issue that haunts most viewers of this show is Tae Su Mi's refusal so far to acknowledge she is the mother of Woo Young-woo. Most of us want this. We want Tae Su Mi to go to the gimbap restaurant when Woo Young-woo is eating breakfast with her dad, and to give her daughter a big hug. That's a feel-good moment. If Tae Su Mi were ready to confess, she would have done it in the last episode of Season 1, when she knew she was not going to be Minister of Justice. Something made her hold on to that secret. Here's one. How much, if anything, does Tae Su Mi's husband know? A rich and important man. Maybe he married Tae Su Mi thinking she was a virgin. In any case, isn't it likely that she never got around to telling him that she had an illegitimate daughter out there somewhere? Is her husband the kind of guy who can go back to work and not mind if people are whispering behind his back? Wouldn't such a scandal affect his ability to be a leader in his company? It could be enough to destroy the marriage, giving Tae Su Mi still another reason to want that secret buried forever. Then there's Sang-hyun, son of Tae Su Mi, brother of Woo. He's probably waiting now for his mother to acknowledge Woo as his sister. He's going to be 18 years old, 19. His affection for Woo has emerged, and he's not going to stuff this back into a bottle, because he's already had a lonely childhood. Sang-hyun is going to pressure his mother to bring Woo in, and to make her some part of their lives. Maybe Tae Su Mi is forced to plead with her son that Daddy will hate me if I confess this secret. But little brother's expectations are not going away. But it's more complicated than that. Suppose Tae Su Mi begins to give in to her heart, or to give in to her son's pressure, and she starts visiting Woo, texting Woo. As long as Woo Young-woo is a secret daughter, what does Woo really gain? The connection might feel good, but it's not a public acknowledgement. The deal is not complete until or unless Tae Su Mi gets in front of some more microphones and tells the world, Woo is my daughter and I am proud to be her mother. That feels good for about 5 minutes, and then things start to get really complicated. First, what does Woo want? I don't get the impression so far that Woo expects her mother to ever go public with the secret. The secrecy actually facilitates Woo's highly private and closed-off existence. Consider, as soon as Tae Su Mi goes public, after the TV audience applause dies down, what's left is a scandal. A big scandal. The TV news, the social media, the magazines, they'll be talking about the CEO of Taisan and about this autistic lawyer who is her daughter. Tae Su Mi's face will be everywhere, but also the world will be looking at Woo. Everywhere Woo goes, she will see her face. Imagine Attorney Woo stepping up in the courtroom, and suddenly the gallery and the jury begin whispering, "That's the girl. Her mother is Tae Su Mi." So let's start by saying Woo's privacy is, for a while at least, completely gone. But there's more. Director Han of Hanbada hired Woo knowing she was Tae Su Mi's daughter. We could assume that Han would be delighted if Tae Su Mi felt so guilty that she confessed to the world that she had an illegitimate daughter. But once that card had been played, what happens to Woo? Will the clients think it's funny that Woo doesn't go work for her mother? If Taisan and Hanbada square off in court again, as they will, won't Woo be a distraction? Mom and daughter in front of the judge, disputing one another's facts in the case. Your Honor, I object to what my mother is saying. Once Woo is exposed as Tae Su Mi's illegitimate daughter, her future at Hanbada becomes almost impossible. If Tae Su Mi goes public, the logical next step is for Woo to come to Taisan and work for her mother. Her friends are at Hanbada, but so will be the scandal. If Woo works at Taisan, in a few months, the Korean public will think it's a kind of redemption story. But this has its own complications. Let's imagine that somehow Tae Su Mi can get her husband to forgive her for 20-something years of deception about an illegitimate daughter. If the next step in the saga is for Woo to become part of her mother's life, what does that do to Kwang Ho, Woo's father? Let's pretend this time that Kwang Ho can be magnanimous and not mind that Woo begins sharing her parental love with the woman who broke his heart years ago. If Kwang Ho is out there on the periphery in Seoul, how is Tae Su Mi's husband going to feel about that? This is his wife's first love and her only other sexual partner. This man, Kwang Ho, never remarried. Maybe Tae Su Mi's husband doesn't have to see Kwang Ho, but if mother and daughter are hanging out together, or Woo is working at mom's law firm, how far away is Kwang Ho? Is he driving Woo over and dropping her off? Is Tae Su Mi stopping by the gimbap shop to pick Woo up, exchanging some friendly small talk about the old days? For some husbands, this kind of never-expected complication, triangulation, is more than they would be willing to tolerate. But if that aspect of the matter somehow worked out, this is still not altogether pretty for Woo. Woo has become extremely close to three people at Hanbada: Attorney Soo-young, her friend from law school days; Attorney Jung, her patient and trusted mentor; and Jung-ho, her boyfriend. Whatever else happens in the world, Woo has found a group of co-workers who can accept the idiosyncrasies of her autism. She might never find such people again. Now, you could say in the grown-up world, if you're lucky, you get good pay and a nice office. Working 5 days a week with your buddies is nothing but a luxury. But Woo is a girl of routines. She's been eating the same meal for 29 years because she sticks with what feels safe and comfortable. But the only way that Woo stays at Hanbada is if the secret never comes out. Suppose that Tae Su Mi puts together all the pieces the way that I have in this video. She could see Sang-hwan. She could do things with her mother. She probably could even come over to the house, Woo, the fascinating young autistic lawyer and girlfriend. But the husband should not know the truth, and the world should not know. If I were Woo, this is not a perfect solution because it hurts to keep living the lie. Ordinary people don't have to keep a secret mother. They can stand next to their mothers publicly and be proud of this. But once Tae Su Mi and Kwang Ho made their deal years before, the fate was sealed then. Whether the secret stays secret or whether the secret got out, there would be pain. If that were to be seen as the preferable alternative, it would put the power back into the hands of Hanbada director Han. Maybe Han is amused at the thought of ruining Tae Su Mi's marriage, since the man her rival married was originally Han's boyfriend. It is hard to see too many advantages to Han of keeping Tae Su Mi's secret. She's already told a reporter who worked on the story apparently for years. At this point, can Han contain the scandal even if for some reason she developed a heart? Which path will the TV series choose to take? I have a hard time believing that the writers of this program would play it out to a horrible conclusion. That is, I can't see Tae Su Mi's husband walking out of the house carrying suitcases. But how could he stay if he were to find out? If I were the writers, I would stretch that business out over the entire season 2.